Hello, am I audible? Okay, please wait for a few minutes, just 1 or 2 minutes, then we will start sessions. Okay. So, hello everyone, I welcome you all in the week 12 Functional and Conceptual Design course. So, this is our last week live question answer sessions. So, my name is Gaurav Kumar. I'm a research scholar at Department of Design, IIT Kanpur. I'm also Prime Minister Research Fellowship. So, and these are my research interests. I'm working in the area of assistive technology, medical devices, mobility aids, rehabilitation technology, human-centered design, prosthetic or aesthetics, inclusive product design and smart mobility solutions, biomedical instrumentations designed for inclusive society, AI in design, AR, VR, design educations, and universal designs. Okay, so that's what about me. Chalo, so moving ahead. So, so week 12, okay. So, conclude week 12 concludes the entire design process by emphasizing the concept scoring, the final and most analytical stage of concept selections. So, this stage brings together all prior learning, functional decompositions, specifications, development, and concept generations into a single evidence-based decision process. So it marks the shift from creativity-driven ideations to data-driven evaluations, ensuring that the chosen concept meets the both technical and human-centered expectations. So, concept scoring employs a weighted systematic approach where each design uh, creations is objectively measured and compared. So, unlike the intuitive selections, it relies on quantifiable evidence to justify design decision. So, this rigor ensures transparency, fairness, and predictability in professional design practice. So the week also revisits the entire course framework, connecting idea discovery, functional mapping, and architectural development and of functional evaluations. So week 12 integrates the both creativity and analytical aspects, symbolizing the culminations of complete product design cycles. Okay, so basically whatever we have learned since last 1 week from Professor T. Asokan's lecture, we will firstly try to I will try to give you a quick summary of that course uh, past 1 week, and then we will move towards the questions answer sessions. Okay, so yeah, okay. So the next is from concept screening to scoring. Okay. So concept scoring builds the directly upon a concept screening, forming a logical continuations of the selection process. screening as uh, practiced through Pugs methods serves to eliminate the clearly weak ideas using quick qualitative judgment. So once this filtering is completed, scoring allows for a deeper quantitative evaluations of the remaining alternatives. So this hierarchical progression ensures just sorry. So this hierarchical progressions ensures the efficiency without sacrificing the rigor. So concept screening offers the breadth covering many alternatives, while concept scoring offers the depth scrutinizing fewer concepts through the measurable comparisons. So the combinations of both enables the balanced decisions making. So in a systematic design context, screening acts as a gatekeeper while scoring act as a decision validator. So this two label structure reflects how industrial design teams moves from broad explanations to refined selection in scientifically defensibly manners. Okay. Moving towards the next objective of the concept scoring. So the fundamental goal of concept scoring is to select the most balanced and feasible design alternative by comparing the competing concept on a multiple dimensions. So beyond selections, it always designers identify individuals' strengths and weakness, so allowing improvement and hybridizations. So it embodies the design philosophy that refinement is as important as choice. Unlike subjective design making, concept scoring promotes the team consensus through transparency. So each creation's rating and weighting are visible and justifiable. So minimizing the personal or hierarchical bias. So the process therefore strengthens the collective decisions quality and project documentation. So within the context of week 12, this objectivity reinforces the design integrity by aligning the evaluations with evidence. Concept scoring ensures that the final design represents the both creative innovations and analytical discipline. So a true hallmark of professional engineering design. Okay. Now moving towards the next slide. So next one is systematic scrolling procedure. So the concept scoring process follow a structured 5-step procedure. So first, evaluations criteria are identified. Second, each is assigned a relative weight reflecting its importance. Third, all concepts are rated against these criteria. Fourth, rating are multiplied by weights to yield weighted scores, and finally these scores are summed to determine a ranked order of preferences. So this systematic approach transforms the subjective impressions into quantifiable data, enabling the traceables and repeatable decisions. So the procedures ensures that even when team members have a different viewpoint, the outcome remains the locally defensible. So in week 12, the structured method exemplified the scientific reasoning in a design. So it formalized intuitions through numbers, ensuring that every design choice can be justified with analytical clarity and documented accountability. Okay. So this was all about the systematic scoring procedures. Okay. Now moving towards the next one. So now next one is the defining evaluations criteria. Okay, so evaluations criteria are a backbone of concept scoring. So they translate the abstract design goals into measurable attributes that can be compared objectively. Okay, so the typical criteria include the performance, usability, manufacturability, safety, sustainability, and cost effectiveness. So each representing a key dimensions of a design success. So defining clear measurables and unambiguous criteria prevents the misunderstanding among team members and avoid double counting. So the criteria must represent the customer's voice, engineering feasibility and business priorities simultaneously. Okay, so we shall emphasize that the precision of the definitions determines the credibility of the scoring process. Poorly defined criteria lead to inconsistent evaluations, while carefully defined ones makes the process robust, transparent and traceable. Okay, now moving towards the next one, accessing weights. So accessing weights to criteria reflects the priorities and trade-offs inherent in design. Not every creations carries equal importance. Usability may outweigh aesthetics, or cost may dominate over a complexity, depending on the project goals. So the sum of all weights equals uh, one, ensuring the proportional influences. So weights are usually determined through consensus, brainstorming, or analytical methods such as pairwise comparison. So this process promotes the stakeholders alignment and enhance the collective ownership of the design outcome. So weighting exemplify relations decisions making in a design evaluations by emphasizing what matters most. The process avoid the overemphasize on a trivial aspect and ensures that scoring outcomes truly align with the strategic and user-centered objectives. Okay. Now the next one is rating uh, computations. Okay, so the computations stage converts qualitative evaluations into qualitative outcomes. So each concept receives a rating typically on 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 scales. So for every criterion, so these rating are then multiplied by corresponding weights, and the total weight scoring indicates the each concept's relative merit. So this numerical approach makes our evaluations consistent, objective and traceable. So it allows direct comparison across vastly different parameters such as ergonomic, durability and cost. So even a small difference in a total scores are meaningful. So as they reveals where further refinement may be needed. Okay. So in the academic and industrial context, this step demonstrates how analytically rigor can be introduced into creative field. So week 12 teach that quantifications strengthens both decision making and decision justifications. Okay. Now moving towards the next one. Sorry. Hmm. Illustrative examples. So the scoring example demonstrate how structured evaluations lead to objective ranking. So when applying weight criteria, each concept's performance because becomes the numerically comparable. So in the provided table, concept B, okay, attains the highest total score is 4.25, indicating the superior overall performance. So the concept A, through strong in durability, lacks the slightly in the cost and aesthetics. So concept C performs well in the cost but weakly in durability. So this outcomes highlights that concepts scoring not only identifies the leading concept but also a pinpoint area of improvement in others. Okay, so as presented in the week 12, such examples illustrates that the method's purpose is dual: to select the best candidate for development and to drive explainable insights for iterative refinements. Okay, so the axis builds the transparency, ensuring design teams understand why a concept wins. Okay, next one is iterative sorry iterative refinement. Okay, so a design evolution is inherently iterative. So as a prototypes are tested or a new data emerges, team revisit the scoring matrix, adjust the weight or rewrite the criteria. So this adaptability ensures that the evaluations remains accurate as a knowledge evolves. Okay, so iterations prevents the premature fixations on early scores and encourage the continuous learning. So teams can integrate user feedback, manufacturing feedback or a cost updates into a later scoring rounds. Okay, so it defines the iterative as the self corresponding mechanism within the design process. So by treating scoring as a living document rather than a final verdict, so designers foster the continual improvement and maintain the alignment between the concepts, evolutions and a real performance. Okay. Now next one is advantage of concept scoring. So the concept scoring offers us several professional advantages. It promotes the evidence-based decisions grounded in a quantifiable data rather than intuitions. So it reduces the personal and organizational biases, encouraging the democratic participations in a design teams. So the method also enables the stakeholders communications with numerical results and transparent criteria. So discussions becomes the fast-based, improving the collaborations between engineers, designers, and managers. So furthermore, the scoring serves as documentations during audits, patent, patient patent filing, or certifications reviews. Okay. So week 12 emphasizing that this transparency transforms the design from a subjective art into a repeatable engineering process. So the clarity of scoring result reinforce institutional learning and strengthens the design credibility in multidisciplinary environments. Okay. Now, sorry. Yeah, slide is okay. Now next is the transitions to prototyping. Okay, so after scoring identifies the most promising concept, the process advanced towards the detailed design and prototyping. So the selected concept is translated into geometric layouts, material selections and initial CAD model. So areas with lower score are flagged for improvement or optimizations. So documentations of scoring results ensures that the design relations is traceable throughout development. So this traceability allow future designers to understand why specific design decisions were made and how trade-off were balanced. So in the last 1 week, that is week 12, so these transitions symbolize the convergence of analysis and improvement. So the qualitative discipline of scoring directly informs the tangible engineering work, ensuring the final prototype faithfully embodies the chosen design logic. Okay. Now next, so the first phase of the course established the foundation of systematic design thinking, and it began with opportunity identifications and formulations of a clear mission statement. So defining what problem the design intends to solve and for whom. Customer needs analysis then converted uh, quality tips desire into a measurable engineering specifications. Okay, so this process ensure the design objective were user centric and evidence based from the outset. So a structured need gathering also minimize the scoring creep and uncertainty later in the process. So week 12 revisits these principles to remind learners that the strong foundation in understanding user needs and defining a specification in essentials before any concept scoring or evaluations can occur. So without this base, even the most sophisticated scoring system lose the relevances. Okay. Just a minute here. Okay. The now the second stage of the course dealt with the creative concept, generations and product architecture, development methods such as foundation decompositions, morphological charts, brainstorming, gallery techniques, the 635 methods and trees tips were introduced to encourage the both divergent and convergent thinkings. Okay, so these tools help that transform the functional requirements into multiple design alternatives while maintaining the logical structure. Product architecture further ensured that subsystems were well defined and functionally coherent. Okay, so week 12 integrates these ideations principles into the concept scoring framework, the showing how creativity and systematic evaluations complement each other. Effective scoring relies on a rich pool of ideas generated through these early stages. Okay. Now the final technical segment of the course address the evaluations, integrations and design traceability. So the concept underwent successive refinement through screening and scoring, followed by feedback loops and hybridization. So documentations ensured that each decision was supported by quantifiable evidences. So these integrations transform the creativity into accountable engineering evaluations tools, guaranteed that only feasible, manufacturable and desirable concepts progress towards the embodiment design. Okay, so week 12 the reinforced that innovations must be validated through region region the assessment. So the integrations of the iterative scoring and feedback loops exemplify the professional design conduct, balancing the novelty and reliability. Okay, so just a minute. So week 12 concludes with the core measure that innovation must be both creative, creative and systematic. So creativity initiates the idea, systematic evaluations validates and refine them. Together they form the essence of a structured innovation. So the hallmark of modern engineering design. So objectivity in scoring strengthens the innovations by ensuring that design excellence is not accidental but demonstrable. Continuous improvement achievable through feedback and refinement ensures the design remain relevant and effective in a real world conditions. Okay, so ultimately this week encapsulates the entire course philosophy. Discipline, creativity is supported by rigorous evaluations leads to meaningful, human-centered and sustainable design outcomes. So it teaches that the most successful design emerge with imaginations and evidence coexist in a perfect balance. Okay, now so yeah, that's what we have short summary of the last 1 week. Now we are moving forward towards the our next step, that is called question answer session. Okay, so here is our very first questions. What is the goal of concept selections? Is it select the best concept, score the best concept, or develop the best concept, or none of the above?
Develop the best concept.
Develop the best concept. Okay. Okay, let me also provide you the explanation part. Okay, so in the context of systematic design methodology, the primary goal of concept selection is not the merely pick one options from the list but to enhance and develop it into a superior balanced and manufacturable concept. So the concept selections acts as a development stage where the designers examines the multiple alternatives. Okay, identify the trade-offs and integrates the favorable characteristics from competing the concepts. Hence the term develop appropriately capture the essence of improvement, refinement and optimizations that the concept selections phase aims to achieve. Okay, so option A select the best concept appears correct as first glance, but lacks the element of refinement inherent in a professional design practice. So the selection is indeed part of the process, but the ultimate goal is improvement through in informed evaluation. So option B, score the best concept, narrows the meaning to numerically scoring alone, so which is merely a step and not the the final objective. So option D, none of the above is invalid, because design evaluations always has an active development aims. Okay, so from the academic standpoints, so the concept selection is the bridge between creative ideations and systematic realization. So it's synthesize the creativity with logic, leading to robust the product concepts that meets the user refinement and technical feasibility. So the development mentioned in the correct answer, so thus includes the hybridizations, optimizations, and enhancement of the design intended. So this understanding is reinforced by connecting concept selections to continuous improvement. So a well-structured evaluations process ensures that idea evolve through iterative refinement, transforming abstract possibilities into engineering ready solutions. Okay, so hence the developing the base concept reflects the both the analytical and creative essence of the design process. Okay, sorry. So those who are watching this video later, kindly go through this slide. Okay, now moving towards the next question. Question number 2: the iterative importance of a selections criteria are weighted and more refined comparison with with respect to the each creations are carried out in what?
Concept scoring.
Concept scoring. Okay. Yes, correct. Correct. Concept scoring is the correct answer. Okay, let me also provide you the explanation for those who are watching this video later. Okay, so within the design process, concept scoring represents the analytical stage where each evaluation's creation is assigned a specific weight and corresponds to its importance to the stakeholders, users, and technical constraints. So this weighting mechanism ensures that not all the criteria influence the design equally. Instead, the critical parameters such as safety, usability, or manufacturability exert the greater influence on the final decision. So the numerical evaluations rating multiplied by weights enables a refined and objective comparison of shortlisted concepts. Okay, so option A, concept generations, deals with the idea creations and therefore the proceeds the evaluation. Concept B, called concept screening, is primarily eliminations process relying on qualitatives, so judgment rather than qualitative assessment. Option D, concept selection, is an umbrella term that includes both screening and scoring. So thus it lacks the specificity demanded in this question. So the correct answer is concept scoring, as Om has rightly said. So emphasizing the precision, data driven reasoning and team consensus, it embedded the transitions from qualitatives to quantitatives decision making. So cornerstone of the modern product development, the use of weighted criteria converts intuitive performance into variable numerical insight. Okay, so in the week 12 framework, concept scoring is described as the culmination of design evaluations where judgment are structured, traceable and justified through weighting and rating. So it harmonizes the creative explorations with engineering discipline. Hence it is considered the most refined form of comparative analysis before the concept proceed to embodiment design. Okay, and those who are watching this video later, kindly go through this slide. Okay, now moving towards the next question. Okay, our next question is question number 3. Concept selection has two stages, namely concept scoring and concept screening, concept screening and concept generation, or concept scoring and concept generation. Am I repeated it or what? Concept scoring and
A option, concept scoring and concept screening.
Okay, okay. I was a bit confused. I thought ki I have repeated the option. No option is repeated, right?
Yes, sir. No option is repeated.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. So yes, option A is the right one. Okay. Okay, let me provide the explanation for those who are watching this video later. Otherwise, if everybody is here, na, to then I can quickly go through. But only few people are joining and people are saying they are watching this video later. So let me provide explanation for them. So basically, concept selection is formally divided into what is happening with me? Just a minute. So the concept selection is formally divided into two structure stage: concept screening and concept scoring. Okay, so screening provides a fast and qualitative means of filtering large number of ideas to remove those that fail to meet the fundamental requirement. So scoring in contrast is a more quantitative and refined procedure that examines the fewer alternatives in a greater depth, assigning the weights and numerical rating to criteria. So option B and C incorrectly combine the selection stage with concept generation, which is part of the creative ideations process rather than evaluation. So option D, none of the above, disregards the established two-tier model of concept selections found in a design methodology literature such as Ulrich and Ippinger's framework. So these two stage structures ensures both efficiency and accuracy in a decision making. So the first stage reduces the cognitive load and saves time by focusing only on viable candidate. So the second stage enhances the design confidence by validating the choosing alternatives using data. Together they maintain both breadth of explorations and depth of analysis. So in the week 12, this systematic progressions embodies the principle of progressive convergence. So, a gradual narrowing of choice through structured evaluations, concept screening, and scoring thus function as complementary mechanism, ensuring that creativity is filtered through the lens of uh, practicality and performance. Okay. And this is the our explanation part. Now moving towards the next question, question number 4. Uh, Pug's selections criteria is used to bring down the quan- quantity of the concept generated in the dash process. What is the right answer? Can you answer?
Concept selection.
Concept selections. Option D, right? No, but option D is
Yes.
not right. It's wrong. Option D is not right. Can you guess another other? Read it again. Na? What question is asking? It's asking Perk selections criteria is used to bring down the quantity of the concept generated in the dash process. It's a concept screening, right?
Yes.
So basically, the the pug method is also known as decision matrix method. Okay, which is primarily employed in the concept screening phase to systematically reduce a large number of generated ideas, and it operates by comparing each concept against a baseline using qualitative judgments such as better, same, or worse. The resulting matrix highlights the superior alternatives and helps the discard non-competitive options early in the process. Okay, so option A, concept generation involves the idea creation, not the evaluations. Option C, concept scoring, it occurs after screening and involves the numerical weighting. So while option D is too broad to describe this specific filtering function, so therefore the option B align perfectly with the the practical application of Pug's criteria. So the strength of the Pug methods lies in its simplicity and structured comparisons. So it allows multidisciplinary teams to evaluate the idea consistently without requiring the detailed quantitatives. Okay, quantitative data. So by focusing on relative performance, it promotes the discussions and consensus within the design team. So the pug matrix serves as the primarily gateway to more rigorous concept scoring phase, and it ensures that the number of alternative entering the scoring process remains the manageable, making subsequent alternatives evaluations more focused and meaningful. Okay, please go through this slide, those who are watching this video later. Now moving towards the next one. Question number 5. The product concept is given form in the dash. What will be the right answer? Okay. So embodiment design is the stage. Question number 5, right? So the embodiment design is that stage where abstract the product concept transitions into tangible engineering forms. So here the designers define the geometry, materials, structures, and layout to ensure the concepts so functional and manufacturing the feasibility. So it effectively breeds the conceptual and detailed design stage, giving the substance to previously theoretical ideas. Okay, so option A, physical and analytical modeling represent the techniques used within the embodiment design, not the design stage itself. So option B, robust design comes later and focus on optimizing the performance under the variations. While option C, design for X uh, applies a specific optimizations principles rather than general embodiment. So thus only options D correctly identify the comprehensive phase where the product's form takes the shape. Okay, so in this phase constraints related to ergonomics, safety, manufacturability and sustainability are resolved. So the designers finalize the dimension, tolerance and interface, so ensuring that the design satisfy both technical and human centered requirements. Okay, so, as described in the last week, embodiment design transform the winning concept from scoring into concrete. So, testable model, it marks the point where conceptual reasoning gives the way to engineering definition and is therefore the critical and validating the design intent. Okay. Now we are moving to question number 6. So a systematic design process is important to what? Can you answer?
All the above.
Yes, correct. So a systematical design process provides the structure and clarity to product development, and it ensures that that activities and outputs are explicitly defined and repeatable. So by formalizing each step, it enables the team to manage complexity and maintain design consistency across the projects. So option A, B and C individually capture essential aspect, so input, methodology and output, so but collectively they define the full scope of systematic process. Thus all of the above correctly encompasses the holistic view necessary for effective design management. So systematic design minimize the subjectivity by introducing the measurable checkpoints and decision uh, tools such as concept screening and scoring. So it also supports the documentations, traceability and quality assurance attributes essential in the engineering practice. So this principle is in week 12. This principle is retired in the context of concept evaluations. So only though a structure approach can teams ensure the repeatable, defensible and optimize the outcome, the systematic method embodies the performance and scientific rigor in design thinking. Okay, so all of the above are the correct answer. Now moving towards the next question, question number 7. Oh, just a minute. So embodiment design move the design process to the definitive form, including what? What is the right answer?
Geometric layout.
Geometric layout, okay. But this is the MSQ, so there are few more options, which is correct. You are partially right.
Market survey.
Market survey and
Uh, analytical. Hmm.
how market survey will be the right answer? Can you think it again? Market survey is wrong. It's not correct. Okay, anyway, so basically, uh, geometric layout, economics, and quality and manufacturing issue is the right answer for this question. So basically, embodiment design process, the the product definitions towards the final form and function. So it involves the developing the geometric layout, analyzing the economic feasibility, and resolving quality and manufacturing concern. So these considerations together ensures that the concept is not only functional but also economically and industrially viable. Okay, so option B, market survey, is unrelated to embodiment design, as it is pertains to market research during the opportunity or marketing phase. So therefore the other three options correctly capture the core dimensions of the embodiment design. So this stage demand detailed synthesis of technical data with cost constraints and the productions methods. Okay, so designers must optimize form and material choice while maintaining the compliance with safety and performance standards. Okay, so embodiment design is depicted as a bridge from analytical scoring to practical realization. So it reflects how structure evolutions culminates in the creations of viable manufacturable products. Okay. Now question number 8. Robust design belong to which of the following design stage? Sorry, so the following category of design stage. Yeah. Can you answer?
Developing the concept.
Developing the concept. Okay. But you are wrong. What happened to you? Nowadays you are answering taking wrong options too much. You haven't watched the last week video?
Yes, sir, I have watched.
Oh, you have watched. Then why you are wrong answering? Developing the concept is not right.
Implementing the concept.
Inventing the concept. No. Implementing the concept. Yes. Option D is the right one. Implementing. You are saying this one. Implementing.
Yes, yes.
This is the correct one. So robust design is the part of implementation stage where the chosen concept is optimized to perform reliably and under varying the conditions. Okay, so it aims to minimize the sensitivity to noise factors such as environmental change, manufacturing tolerance, and user variability. So thus it ensures product consistency and durability in a real world use. Okay, so options A and C corresponds to early exploratory stage focusing on problem identifications and concept creations. Option B, marketing the concept, occurs after the technical implementations. Okay, so making it unsuitable. So therefore only option D accurately represents the robust design's operational con- context. Okay, so this stage emphasize the environmental experimentations, tolerance analysis, and design optimizations techniques such as uh, Taguchi method. Okay, the focus shift from what to design to how to make it stable and reliable. Okay, so in week 12, robust design symbolize the completions of the design cycle, translating the evaluated concepts into dependable solutions that sustain the performance over time, and it close the loop from the concept selections to validated implementations. Okay, so the correct answer for this particular question is implementing the concept is the right answer. Okay, now those who are watching this video later, kindly go through this slide. Okay, moving towards the next question number 9. Okay, 9 is asking methods for identifying consumer need. Is it like dislike method, questionnaire interview, affinity diagram, or activity diagram? What is the right answer?
A and B.
Yes, correct. Like dislike method and questionnaire or interview is the right answer. So the customer needs analysis is fundamental to developing the meaningful design criteria. Techniques such as like dislike method and questionnaires or interviews gather the first hand. Okay, qualitative feedback and express user preferences, frustrations, and expectations. So these insights are later converted into the measurable engineering parameters. Option C and D, affinity and activity diagram, serves the different purpose. So they help organize or visualize the informations after data collections rather than eliciting the need directly. So hence the correct method for initial identifications are A and B, as you have rightly just said. Okay, so by systematically capturing the voice of customer data, designers create a foundations for setting evaluations criteria in concept scoring. So these needs influence the weighting factors that guide objective decision making. So in week 12, reinforce says that understanding user requirements proceeds all form of evaluations without accurately capturing needs. So even the most sophisticated scoring method risk optimizing for the wrong objectives. Okay, so A and B is the right answer. Now moving to ask the next questions. So the next question is question number 10. Fill the empathy block in the following product design flow with the appropriate answer. Please go through this slide and kindly answer. What will the right answer?
Geometric layout.
Geometric layout. No, geometric layout is the not right answer. That is not correct one. Answer is something else. Give one more try. Next guess please. Okay. So detailed layout is the right answer. Option A is the correct answer. Okay. So within the design development flow, the detailed layout stage follows the geometric layout phase and represents the transitions from conceptual geometry to manufacturable definitions, and it specifies the exact dimensions, tolerance, and fastening the details and assembly interface, converting an engineering concept into blueprint from our productions. So at this level, the designers verify the manufacturability, serviceability, and compliance with safety or ergonomic standards. Okay. So option B, geometric layout, is an earlier synthesis in which spatial configurations and functional grouping are determined but without prices detail. So option C, layered, the layout is not recognized term in systematic design methodology, and option D, concept layout, corresponds to the systematic exploration of alternatives before embodiment. So only detailed layout capture the final geometric regulations demanded the before detailed design and prototyping. So from methodology legal perspective, the detailed layout phase ensures the every critical dimensions relates the back to the performance requirements stabilized during the scoring and selections. So it is direct consequence of the structure reasoning that being with concept evaluations. So the accuracy achieved here reduce the downstream rework and manufacturing risk. So in the week 12 discussions, so this stage demonstrates the continuity between concept evaluations and realization. So once the scoring identify the base alternatives, embodiment design implements in detailed layout that conform the design layout design intent. So readiness for tooling and integrations of all subsystems. Okay. So the correct answer is the option A, detailed layout is the correct one. So those who are watching this video later, kindly go through this slide. Okay. Now moving towards the next question, question number 11. Concept scoring primarily helps in design team to dash. Can you answer? Okay. So
Option D.
B, back, no, B is not
D
right.
D.
Eliminate all design alternatives.
Yes.
No, this one is also not right. So the concept scoring transforms the qualitative performance into quantitative evidence-based conclusions. So by weighting the criteria and rating the alternatives, teams obtain the traceable documentations that can be defended in a technical review. So design audits or client presentations, the process replaces the intuitions driven judgment with structured data supported the reasoning. Okay, so option A, reduce the creativity, contradicts the purpose of scoring, which channels the creativity rather than restricting it. So option B, make the subjective decisions, misrepresents the methodology, and options D, eliminate the all alternatives, confuse the scoring with screening. So therefore, only option C accurately express the method's intent. So concept scoring strength lie in rationality, and it provides the common language for a designer, engineers, and managers to discuss trade-offs objectively. So it also record why a specific choice was made, forming and foundations of design rationale for future projects. Okay, so uh, in week 12 these principles exemplify the professional accountability in design. Decision grounded in quantifiable logic are essentials when multiple stakeholders, the manufacturers, users, and investors require a transparent justifications. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option C. Arrives at the rational and defendable choice is the correct answer. Okay, so please go through this slide. Those who are watching this video later, I would request everyone, those who are watching this video later, uh, kindly pause the video and try to answer yourself, and then only go for the explanation part. It will be really helpful for while you are sitting in your examinations. It will be very useful. Okay, so practice like that. So next question, question number 12. In concept scoring, the total score for each concept is obtained by dash. Adding unweighted ratings, multiplying the weights with rating, and summing the results, subtracting cost from performance, average all parameters equally. What could be the right answer?
B option. Multiplying weights with
Yes,
ratings and
yes, yes,
summing the
yes,
results.
yes, correct, correct, correct. Okay, so B is the right answer. So the weighted sum method is the mathematical core of concept scoring each criterions rating is multiplied by its importance weight, and the products are summed to obtain a composite score. So this ensures that highly significant factors influence results proportionally more than minor ones. So option A, adding the unweighted rating, treats all criteria as equal and ignore strategic priorities. So option C, subtracting cost from performance, oversimplify multidimensional evaluations, and option D, equal averaging the produce, misleading the naturality. Thus, the weighted sum model alone achieve the balanced comparison. So, mathematically, this approach maintain the consistency with decision analysis frameworks such as analytical hierarchy process (ASP), and it transforms the diverse qualitative insights into a single numeric index, facilitating the ranking and sensitivity analysis. Okay, so in week 12, emphasize this a technique to teach the objective integrations of user needs, technical feasibility, and business constraints by assuming weighted scores. Engineers convert the complex judgment into reproducible, auditable outcomes. Okay, so B was the right answer. Moving towards the next question, number 30. The concept with the highest weighted score is generally what? Sorry. Can you answer?
Selected for further development.
Yes, correct. So after computations, the concept achieving the maximum total indicates the most balanced trade-off among all evaluations parameters. Such as concept became the primary candidate for detailed design, modeling, and prototyping. So the decision is not final but conditional, subject to validations in embodiment, design, and testing. So option A, automatically manufactured, is incorrect because manufacturing follows the exhaustive verifications. Scoring alone cannot authorize the productions. So option C discarded because it contradicts the logic, while option D is sent for user testing directly skips engineering feasibility analysis. Okay, so selecting the highest scoring concept represents an informed convergence of design possibility. So it reflects the technical adequacy, usability, cost, effectiveness, and strategic fit derived from prior weighting. So, nonetheless, designers remain open to hybridizations if close scoring alternatives that reveal the complementary strengths. So, in the week 12 threads, this says as a decision gate in the design funnel. So, only through such evidence based progressions one can organization ensures the quality and reduce the iterations loops and justify resource allocations for downstream development. Okay, so B was the right answer. Now moving to other question number 14. So assigning weight of the evaluations criteria is essential because what can be the right answer? Assigning weights to evaluations criteria is essential because
It reflects stakeholder priorities and trade-offs.
it reflects stakeholders. Yes, correct. So B is the right one. So awaiting transform generic evaluations into stakeholders specify specific prioritizations. So by assigning the relative importance value, designers ensures that the scoring outcome align with user expectations. Okay, incorporate the goal and regulatory constraint. So for example, in assistive device design, usability and safety often carry the higher weight than aesthetics. So option A, all criteria are equally important, contradicts the empirical reality. So criteria rely share equal significance. Option C, it simplifies the matrix, misinterprets the purpose, weighting the increase, not decrease analytical precision. So option D, it avoid the screening, is unrelated to uh, the weighting state. So the correct practice involves the derive the weights through consensus, often using the pairwise comparisons or Delphi method to balance the diverse stakeholder perspective. So this quantitative reflections of qualitative priorities ensures that the evaluations is context sensitivity and just justifiable. So weighing symbolize the discipline reasoning. It bridges the consumer's voice with the engineering executions without weighing the concept. Scoring would merely be arithmetic averaging devoid of strength alignment. So the correct answer is the it reflects the stakeholder priorities and trade-offs. Okay. Now moving to other question number 15. Which of the following is the best describe the iterative nature of the concept? Okay, let me
C option.
C. Okay, C is the right answer because a robust design process is inherently iterative as new data emerge from prototype testing, user feedback, or simulation. So designers revisit the evaluations criteria and adjust the score or weight to maintain the accuracy. So this ensures the continual convergence towards an optimal solutions. So option A and B portray the process as static contradicting the real world adaptive design practice. So option D suggests the neglect of feedback, violating user centered principles. So therefore option C captures the dynamic and evolutionary nature of concept evolution. So iterative fosters the learning within the design team and prevents the premature commitment to float the idea. And it also allows the integrations of new technology of material discovered mid project, sustaining the innovations while maintaining the methodological discipline. So in week 12 highlights the iterations as a feedback driven control mechanism within the design cycle. Though iterative score, the process remains the resilient, adaptive, and continuously improving, a hallmark of professional engineering design. Okay, so option C is the right answer. Those who are watching video later, kindly go through this slide. Now moving towards the next one, question number 16. The pug matrix is mainly used for what? So the pug matrix provides the structure qualitative comparisons between each concept and baseline or datum concept, and its purpose is quickly identify on the underperforming the alternatives. So therefore narrowing the field for detailed analysis by simplifying the large decisions spaces. So it it prepares the groundwork for quantitative scoring. So option A generating the new functions belong to the ideation stage, not evaluations. Option C estimating the cost, and D stage analysis involves the specialized analytical task beyond pugs qualitative framework. So the limiting through the comparative judgment is the correct and an exclusive objective. So this matrix use the simple symbols such as plus, 0, negative to indicate the better, same or worse. Okay, so performance relative to reference concept, the despite its simplicity is encouraged cross disciplinary decision and consensus. So positions the pug matrix as screening gate before scoring, and it upholds the systematic design by filtering the design space efficiently while maintaining the traceability of reasoning the behind each rejection or retentions. Okay, so option B is the right answer. Now moving towards the next. Please go through this slide. Now question number 17. So a key advantage of the concept scoring method is that it, what what is the right answer? So, concept scoring act as collaborative communications tools by grounding the evaluations in data, and it promotes the open evidence-based discussions among the engineers, designers, and makers. So, this objectivity transforms the potential disagreement into constructive database debate supported by measurable evidence. So option A required no data negates the data driven foundations of scoring. Option B prevents the collaborations, contradicts the cooperative nature of design, while option D focuses only on aesthetics, trivialize its multidisciplinary scope. Hence option C alone represents the genuine benefit. The team discussions supported by the scoring matrix encourage the mutual understanding of trade-off, such as balancing cost with performance or ergonomic with manufacturability. So it democratized the design evolutions while ensuring the accountability. So week 12 recognize this as the social dimensions of systematic design, effective communications backed by numbers enhance the transparency, supports design reviews, and cultivates the shared ownership of the chosen concept. So option C is the right answer. Now moving towards the next question, question number 18. Which of the following can serve as selections criteria in concept scoring? So in practical design evaluations, criteria must be encompasses the complete life cycle performance of the product. So each of assembly user set safety and environmental impact collectively ensures that both functional and societal expectations are addressed. So hence all listed factors legitimately serve as scoring criteria. Selecting only one or two of these aspects, option A, B or C, would produce a partial and potentially biased assessment. So design excellence arises from integrating the usability, sustainability and manufacturability within the same framework. So a multi-criteria approach aligned with ISO based design guideline, which emphasize performance, safety and ecological responsibility as inseparable. So quantifying these dimensions through scoring strengthens decision transparency and ethical accountability. So Victual reinforced that concept evolutions must adopt a holistic view of design quality. Comprehensive criteria enable designers to make choices that are technically sound, user centered and environmentally responsible. Okay, now moving towards the next question. So D was all of the above is the right answer. Question number 19. The concept selections process bridges the gap between dash. So the concept selections functions are the transitional mechanism that connects the creative divergence of ideations with the convergent precision of the prototyping, and it provides the traditional structures through which imaginative the concepts are filtered, assessed and refined the before resource are invested. So thus the process ensures that only technical and economical feasible data progress to physical development. Okay, so option B, marketing and sales refers to post decision commercialization activity, not the design pipeline itself. Option C, manufacturing and logistic occurs after design validations. And option D, maintenance and disposal belong to the product life cycle stage. Hence only option A correctly identify the interface that transform the creative explorations into tangible realizations. So the bridging the function of concept selection guarantees that the momentum of creativity is preserved but disciplined by evolutions, and it imposes the methodological checkpoints, screening, scoring and weighing to maintain the coherence between user intent and engineering feasibility. In this way the design funnel narrows the idea uh, intelligently rather than arbitrarily. So within the week 12 this linkage is critical. So the transitions from ideations to prototyping represents the designer's movement from abstract possibility to accountable engineering practice. So concept selections thereby operationalizations the innovations through systematic reasoning, ensuring the readiness of embodiment and prototyping the validations. Okay, now moving towards the next question. Option A is the right answer. Next one is question number 20. So during the concept scoring, a low score in one criteriations can be compensated by dash. So the weighted sum approach used in the concept scoring allow practical compensations among criteria. So if concept perform poorly on a less critical factors but excel on a high weight criteriations, so it overall score may still remain the competitive. So this reflects the realistic trade-off nature of engineering decision, where perfections across all dimensions is rarely attainable. So option A, increasing the cost, introduce the bias unrelated to scoring. Option C, removing that the creations undermines the methodological integrity. Option D, changing product architecture represents the redesign activity, not evolutions. So hence only option B appropriately describe the compensatory mechanism inherent in the weight evaluation. So the flexibility in a balance strength and weakness enable the designers to consider the holistic performance rather than isolated metric. So it also provide a framework for negotiations among stakeholders within differing the priorities such as cost versus usability or weight versus durability. So in week 12 emphasize this multi-criteria balance as defining a feature of concept scoring. So trade-off balance assessment prevents the premature rejection of innovative ideas and align decision making with the broader philosophy of optimizing, not merely maximizing the performance. Okay, now next moving towards the so B is the right answer. Now next one is a good concept scoring matrix should be an effective scoring matrix. Communities inform the uh, unambiguously, and it must be straightforward in structure so that all team member can interpret criteria, weight and rating consistently. Clarity promotes the confidence in the process and makes subsequent review or audit traceable. So option B complex and subjective, and option C based only on intuitions contradict the scientific uh, intent of the methodology. Option D modified after every test without region reflects the procedural instability. So therefore only option A align with the principle of methodological transparency demanded in systematic design. So a simple matrix enables the efficient updates and sensitivity analysis without introducing computational errors. Moreover, the transparency builds trust among multidisciplinary teams and external reviewers who rely on documented logic rather than personal judgment. So, the emphasis on clarity underlines that design quality depends on much on process disciplines as on creative insight. So a transparent scoring sheet became a record of rational design behavior and ethical and professional expectation in an engineering design practice. Okay, now moving towards the question number 22. So the main reason to use numeric rating 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 in the concept scoring is to dash. So the numeric rating converted variable or subjective evaluations such as good, average or poor into quantitative data that can be mathematical process. So these quantifications allow the meaningful comparison between alternatives and facilitates the computations of the weight totals, and it effectively bridges human intuitions with analytical rigors. Okay, so by assuming the number team can perform the normalizations ranking and sensitivity testing leading to statically constrained outcomes. This also helps the capture the nouns of the practical partial preferences. For example, differentiating between a rating of 4 and 5 for reusability. So week 12 represents this translations from qualitative to quantitative judgment as essentials for objectively. So numeric scaling formalizing the creativity reasoning, ensuring that decisions remains repeatable, variable and computable with engineering management tools. Okay, so B is the right answer. Next one is 23. So concept scoring differs from a concept scoring because of what? So concept scoring typically implemented through a pug methods relies on qualitative judgments such as better or worse to quickly filter the idea. Concept scoring advance this analysis by introducing a numerical weights and rating the proceeding a quantifiable ranking. So the shift from qualitatives to quantitative evaluations increase the precision and reduce the subjectivity. So the correct answer is screening is qualitative, scoring is quantitative. Okay, So the qualitative and qualitative progressions represents the depending on analytical rigors. Designers move from broad intuitions to numerical justification, enhancing the defensibility of their decisions. So both step, however, remain the interdependent part of the large concept selections framework. So this distinctions embodies the educational objective of transforming the heuristic design thinking into systematic design reasoning. So the complementary using of screening and scoring ensures both breadth and depth in the product in the concept evaluations. Moving towards the next one, question number yeah, please go through this slide. Okay, screening is the qualitative, scoring is called. So next is question number 25, which phase focus on defining the geometry, materials and layout of the chosen concept. So the right answer is option C, embodiment design. So embodiment design establishes the concrete physical configuration of the selected concept, and it specifies the geometry, material selections, tolerance and assembly layout to the translate the evaluated idea into an engineering ready form. And this phase synthesize the analytical, ergonomic and manufacturing considerations. So in this stage, designers validate the spatial relationships, structural integrity and manufacturability, and it is convergence the point where aesthetic intent meets functional necessity, ensuring design coherence across subsystems. Okay. Now question number 25. So the term concept hybridizations refers to dash. So concept revision is the creative synthesis of superior features from different design alternatives into a single improved solution, and it leverages the comparative insights gained during the concept scoring to combine the best of each candidate. So this process encourages the innovations through integrations rather than selection alone. Okay, so hybridization the maintain flexibility within the otherwise convergent process of concept selections when two concepts score closely but excel in the distinct criteria. So their fusion can yield a more robust design without the restarting the ideations. So hybridization is presented as advanced outcome of iterative evaluations and transforming the competitions among concept into collaborations between ideas, and it exemplifies the principles that innovations often arise from recombinations, not in isolations. Okay, so A is the right answer. Now question number 26. The outcome of concept selection should be ideally be what? So the deliverable from concept selection is clearly uh, recent documented set of one or few refined concepts supported by scoring data and justification. So these are sufficiently mature for embodiment design, so where geometry and structural definitions begin, and documentations include the matrix weight, rationals and trade-off analysis. Okay, so delivering the refined yet flexible concept ensures the readiness for detailed explorations while preserving adaptability, and it also creates a formal record linking evolution's logic to subsequent design decision. So emphasize that conceptual selection concludes with validated knowledge, not merely a choice. The rigor of documentations safeguards traceability, enabling peer review and intellectual property claims and continuous improvement. Okay, so B is the right answer. So in the context of product design, design rationale refers to what? What will the right answer? Om? Hello? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
you are also getting bored. What is the right answer? Okay, anyway, let me answer. So, a design reasonable document the reasoning trade-off and criteria underlying every design decision, and it capture why particular concept feature or configurations was chosen, linking outcomes to objective and constraints. So such documentations ensure the continuity of knowledge across project stage and teams. So option B is artistic aspect of design trivialize the analytical foundation of rational. Option C, final CAD model only confuse output with explanations. Option D, list of rejected ideas lack the casual insight, though only option A accurately define the term with systematic design methodology. So a robust design rationale include the refers to scoring matrix, weighting logic, customer need and mapping, and technical justifications. So it demonstrates the intellectual transparency essential or certification, research publications and design review. So with uh, week 12 concludes with this notations, positioning design rational as the intellectual footprint of systematic design, and it transforms design from an act of intuitions into a discipline traceable and communicable engineering process. Okay, so yeah, is the right answer. And so as we conclude this session on concept scoring and course summary, so I would like to sincerely thank you for your active engagement and participations throughout the course. So over the past 12 weeks we have journeyed from identifying design opportunity and user needs to developing a structured evidence based methods for evaluating and selecting the product concept. So this progression reflects not only the evolution of the design project but also the intellectual growth of the designer from curiosity and creativity to analytically maturity. So, concept scoring, which we explored in detail today, represents the culminations of this journey, and it teaches us that innovation is not simply about generating idea but about developing them through systematic reasoning and critical evaluation. So the ability to combine creative imagination with objective assessment is what differentiates design as an art from design as an engineering discipline. So I hope that this session has demonstrated how structure enhance creativity rather than restricting it. So finally, I would like to emphasize that design is a continuous process of learning, reflections, and improvement. And each project you undertake should leave behind not just a product but also a documented, rational, and intellectual trail that future designers can build up. Okay, so thank you once again for being part of this academic explorations. I now welcome any questions from you, Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so yeah, this was the our last class, but yeah, anyway we have one more sessions tomorrow, which I'm going
Okay.
to pre-record it and going to upload it. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
I will also come live, and if you guys have any kind of question or anything, then we will discuss over there. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
I will try to pre-record and upload it, but I will take
Okay.
that live in classes. Okay, and I will update the all the slides and videos on that public sheet. I have not updated that videos and slides of last week, which I will upload soon. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you, thank you so much. Okay, I hope it was a great journey. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So anything for me?
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. Okay, thank you guys, thank you so much. Bye bye, take care, all
Yes,
the
sir.
best.